Hey YouTube, my name is Kenny. Thank you for checking out my channel. Today's video is going to be all about stripping down the 92 Banshee, figuring out what we're going to keep, what we're not going to keep, what we're going to need to repurchase, and what we're just going to simply throw in the trash. So if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. What we're doing now to the 92, we're going to be doing the same thing to the 05 in a future video, but what we're going to be doing is figuring out what parts are on this machine that we can swap over, like the stock handlebars and the suspension and things like that, to make sure we keep this 92 as stock as possible, but make sure we restore the whole thing and have it looking amazing by the end of this series. All right, everyone, so I'm pretty excited. Just hopped off the LTR build, finished this up, closed that series up. Now these next ones are going to be all about the Yamaha Banshees. I might throw a little bit of LTR content in the other videos, but for the most part, what I'm going to be uploading is going to be Yamaha Banshee related, and we're going to figure out exactly what we're going to be needing moving forward to get this 92 looking like this to something a lot more amazing, right? So if you've followed the channel before, you knew what the Banshee looked like. This one came with me wide in front end, and it had an extended swing arm. We've already removed the swing arm because at one point in time I did order or get another one that I traded somebody with, and we kind of just had a little miscommunication. Guy thought it was for a Banshee. It didn't fit the Banshee, so obviously it wasn't for a Banshee. And what we're going to be doing is actually taking the swing arm off this one here, putting it back over here as we're building. We're going to get the stock suspension put back over here. Everything's going to get re-powder coated. We're going to strip this down to naked, and then we're going to send it off and get it powder coated as well. Build this thing up from the bottom, open the motor up, switch the cases out and things, and make it look great. So it looks like a lot of it's going to have to go ahead and come off there, but we're going to figure out exactly what we're going to be needing to remove. Well, the gas tank's already just sitting up there. That's simple. We can take that off, move it over, and we're going to keep this thing as stock as possible. Let's get the camera set up and start taking it off. Gas tank off. Plastics have already been disassembled before. They were just placed back up on here. Overall, I see trash here. This side's been cut, broken somehow, and I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I could make a set of race cuts, but nah. These are going to just be either thrown in the trash, but if any of you would all like them, let me know. If you're local, you can have them. All right, front plastic removal time. We're going to be replacing all the hardware here, so these can just go in our handy dandy spare bucket. Plastic's off, all broken up here, so that ain't gonna do us any good. So all this plastics and stuff is gonna be replaced, so we'll get on that. We got the plastics off of the machine. It's crazy how fast they start to look naked, but this one doesn't really have anything on it. What I am going to do is just kind of pay attention to my plugs. I'm not sure if I'm going to need a completely new wiring harness or not, but we're going to figure that out as we go through with this. We're going to go ahead and get the headlights off. We're going to get all the stuff off the steering column here in a bit. And you know, this whole video is basically going to be about turning these items down and figuring out what we're going to be needing to do in the future to get them back on the machine or to get those replaced. So let's just go ahead and keep on taking things down. Next, headlights, handlebars, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the headlights just kind of plug in with these little snap connectors. I'm not sure what year had that. If you know, you let me know. Looks good quality. So got the mesh on it. It says Yamaha down there at the bottom. Got all the little rubber padding, a screw down here. I guess that's going to hold the headlight still. But we're going to go ahead and get the other side off, put these away, and these are going to probably go back on, but just have some cleaning and some changes done to them. Oh snap. Look at this. Yeah, look at that, look at that. Look. A zip tie. I guess that's the new lock nut, right? So this right here was the lock nut of 92. But this is the 2020 version of what, you know, locking hardware should be. But yeah, that's crazy because I've ridden this daggone thing around my yard not knowing it was like that. So moral of the story is, buy your machines, get your machines home, take the freaking machines apart, take a look at them, make sure that, you know, if you're buying something used from people, you don't just jump on it and head out in the woods and then kill yourself. But let's keep getting it broken down. Now, I know I didn't mention the front bumper, but this is an easy remove. So 3 nuts were holding it on. We're just gonna set them back in here just for now. I didn't bring any bags out to put anything in. But thank God, it looks like we are not stripped out down here. So that was my one concern. Any strip bolts or anything, but the front bumper came off. We are not going to be using this on the build. Probably just strip this thing down and maybe, I don't know, maybe sell it or something. We'll see what it's gonna look like when it's done. Now we're up here to the handlebars. So I have the screws and the hardware already loose from prior having this open. So we can go ahead and get that cable out of there. Well, trash. Won't be keeping that for sure. All right, we have ODI grips. Won't go on this build, but check. They'll probably go on the other Banshee. I'm a fan of these grips. I run them on everything, just that they lock on. And they're usually pretty simple to get off. Yeah. One more. Check. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up taking this right here off, and then we'll take a look at the master cylinder and see what we think about it. All right, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this master cylinder. It is a little rough, but I'm going to just take it off. Never know what I could use off of it. Well, somebody didn't want me to take it off, apparently. So since we're going to be going back to stock, you know, things like these brake cables and all that, these little ends and boots and stuff like that, you know, they'll be useful in the future. So, not sure what parts of this I might be able to use, what I might not be able to use, but overall, this is trash. Not sure what's going to look like once I take that screw out. Hopefully not too bad. The screws look bad, but everything else looks like it could be cleaned up, actually. So, I'm going to go ahead and keep this as well. So, here's this. Not sure what I'm looking at here. Phillips on both sides to just break this loose. I'm not sure what I'm working with here. So a whole bunch of connections that look like they're matched by color. So However, I'm not sure, like there's no key in this. So I don't know what, I guess somebody wanted to bypass the key, didn't want that on there. Maybe, maybe not, but we're gonna put all that back on there. We're just gonna figure out where it's gonna go and how it's gonna go. So now the bars are pretty naked. So Renthal, are they Renthal, are they not? I don't know. But we have the official pad, so I think we're good. As long as it looks like Renthal, right? We'll also figure these bars out later. These bars will not be going back on to the machine. If anything, they may get powder coated for the other. Trying to get them in there and brace them a little bit. All right, go ahead, roast me. My nice Igloo ATV stand. I'm kind of back and forth in between stands. I was looking at getting one of those Harbor Freight pump jacks or table lifts. They'll do great. However, you see what I'm working in, right? Gravel. It'll still do well if I got it out here, but that's like 100 pounds to drag out here. It'll do great when I'm inside of my building and everything. However, there was some of the other ATV stands like the dirt bike lifts that go up to 300 pounds. They might support it. And there were some X style ones, but the only problem with the X style ones is once I put the machine on there, you really can't take it down and off like when it's a frame. And that might be a little issue if I start working on it out here and it starts raining. However, I will still have to bring it down, take the other stuff inside. So maybe not as big of an issue. I'll be ordering one of those here soon though. All right, official handlebar time. Right here, I don't know if you can see it. Right here, a play in there, so we're gonna be replacing that bushing at some point, but we're gonna go ahead and get the handlebars and everything off. Just one of the things I need to write down for the list. I'm trying to break them loose. And a little tight in there. We got some numbers over here on this. Question is, are they Renthal, are they not? We'll figure that out. Number is 87B1, oh, nope, 87912157. We'll figure this out. All right, so kind of hard to see exactly what I'm working on with the other Banshee behind, but handlebars off, stems off, plastics, everything is off. Now what we're gonna do is probably just get these wheels off. Yeah, that'll be the next best move. All right, these are gonna need some work done to them, but we'll get there at some point. Second one. Something's different about these. Like, as you see, like they don't sit all the way up on there. So either the hub is different or the rim itself is different. Like the rim doesn't fit on that. The stuff people do, but all right. All right, so neither of the rims fit on there, which is no big deal. But we're gonna make sure that we get everything else looked at. Sorry, I'm picking up the lug nuts. But we're gonna go ahead and get the, brake hoses, get those whole things off here, get all that disconnected, the whole brake system, and see what that's gonna look like, figure out what we're gonna be as far as the restoration of these. All right, so back here, get this turned. Put these two. 1, 2. All right, so don't roast me. A little change of scenery. It got crazy hot, like freaking snowing where I'm at last week or beginning of this week. Now it's like 80 and it is hot and humid. So under a little bit of shade, we're going to continue to get the Banshee taken apart. So we're going to get all this here off the tie rod ends and the ball joints, but let a little bit of PB Blaster do a little bit of work for us. So while we're waiting, we're gonna take a look. Now I'm not sure if this nut here is the wrong way or not. It's up in the air. The other one is face down, but we'll figure that out as we go. But we're gonna just go ahead and break these loose. I've got a nail down here. Now, if you're not careful, you'll beat these up, taking them off. So I usually find an extra bolt that I have, screw it down on there, then I just use my hammer and give a good whack, and usually they come loose. Now this should just rotate up. I'll do the same thing. No play here, no play here. These are actually gonna go for sale, so we're gonna go ahead and get them off. A-arms and everything are all off. Just going to finish getting this final tie rod here off. Then we'll break down the hubs and get those things cleaned up, get the bearings changed out and all that later. But overall, everything here seems to be okay. This tie rod end was trashed, so I was going to replace it anyways. That's why I beat up on it. But front end broke down. Next, radiator, steering stem, get all those things out. So we have this whole front completely done. Time to get the radiator out. Hose and cable rerouting, so we're going to just pull everything back through here. So we got the throttle cable out, like breather lines here, breather hose coming through, as well as this one, wires for the electronics, and here we have a clutch cable. Everything's starting to come through. This is a Chinese CDI box, so that's going to get swapped out to something not Chinese for sure. Let's get that out. Pretty sure this is that Chinese coil pack that was in there. But we're going to put it all in the bag together. 90% sure it's one of the Chinese ones. I mean, based off how the boots and things look, it's not OEM, so we will be replacing this. The camera died, but the steering stem came out real easy, so it really wasn't any problem. Now the last thing we have to get out up front officially is going to be this last bolt here, and we'll get the brakes off. Wrong, actually. Those little clips held that there, but we're gonna hold these in place and unthread. Brake line's off. So we're going to be getting into a new harness, how it would look like.
It's competition.
I don't know what we got going here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I could make it work, but All right, everyone. So as you see, we have the Banshee frame completely stripped down. The camera went off last night and I didn't get any footage of me removing the motor, but it is pretty simple. Basically, we're going to turn the camera around, talk about what we've gotten here, close this video out. Our next video is going to be a lot more in detail of checking the frame over and see what we need to do. All right, so everything is off the motor, and it's not a whole lot that holds it in. Basically, we just have the one bolt that's going to go across here. That was a 14 millimeter on both sides. And we also have some braces that go from here to here, and these little bumpers that go down at the bottom. So that's all that holds it in there. It's nothing crazy. One of the good things I do like is that the swing arm bolt does not go through it. That's a plus. But overall, yeah, we got this thing stripped down, and soon we're going to be doing some fixes to it, and then we'll be getting it off the powder. All right, everyone, so if you stayed with me through this long video, I appreciate it. If you like this kind of content that I put out, share it, drop a comment down in the bottom, let me know what you'd like to see, what you wouldn't like to see, and then we'll move forward with this build together.